Okay, I think we're live. Oops. Awesome. Okay, well, welcome to the Team TryCeps Call. Thanks so much for being on. If you are brand new to Team TryCeps, welcome, and thank you so much for taking the time to jump on the team call tonight. My name is Sarah Try. I'm the founder of Team TryCeps, and this is Lauren Kilisky. She's the founder of Team Fit Revolution. So tonight is all about Lauren and all about how she has built her business. So we're coming up on 3 years
for
you being a coach.
Wow.
And I think with me being in Seattle and just visiting her and her team, we actually have a team dinner tonight. So we've been kind of running around all day planning and getting ready for it. But it's just brought up a lot of really cool memories about how we started and you know, back to when I signed her up as a coach and just how we worked together and how I mentored her and how she built her business and all this great stuff. And we're like, man, we really need to do a call about this because it's not stuff that we think about a lot. We tend to forget about that stuff as you build your business. So we want to share with you guys really how she did this. And I really am going to get deep and ask her some really good questions. And, you know, she's maybe not going to be always nice to me about what she says. I don't know. We'll see. But so welcome. Thank you guys for being on. If you just want to say hi, I have a few people saying hi in the chat box. Please say hi. Tell us where you're from. Tell us anything you want to tell us. Hi, Mom. Hi, Susanna. Thanks for being on, you guys. So good to see you. So really, I'm just going to start off and I'm just going to ask Lauren, how do you remember us meeting for the first time? I guess not in person, but like meeting, just chatting or meeting on social media.
Yeah. Okay, so I should go back to like Instagram.
Yeah, very first time that we started talking. Yeah.
So when Sarah Try found me, I had started my journey towards a healthy lifestyle already. I was really focusing on clean eating and changing my nutrition. And she started following me on Instagram, found my blog, went to my blog, made one of my recipes on there. My healthy,
which Donna loves. Donna always.
Oh, are those your faves?
Yeah.
The healthy chickpea blondies. It's an infamous recipe now, I feel like. But so she made my recipe and then she commented on my Instagram and was like, hey, these blondies were really delicious. Something like that. Like they were super good. And I was like, oh my gosh, someone made my recipe. Like, whoa. I didn't think that anyone was even looking at my blog, let alone cooking the things that I put up there, but Sarah did. And so I was like, can you go comment on my blog and be like, yeah, this recipe is good, you know, so other people will make it? And she was like, of course, no problem. So she went and she commented. And I think shortly after that, she was like, are we friends on Facebook yet? Like she commented on Instagram and she had sent me a friend request, I think before you made the blondies, maybe.
Oh. And
I like ignored the friend request because I was like, who's this random person that is friend requesting me? I was like, who are you? I don't know you. Go away. So she friend requested me, but then she commented on Instagram and was like, hey, are we friends on Facebook yet? And I was like, I don't think so. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna send you a message on there. And I think you paid, since we weren't friends, you must have paid $1 to get to my inbox. Because if you send someone a message that you're not friends with, it automatically goes to their other box. So she paid $1. The best dollar she probably ever spent. And that dollar sent a message to my inbox. We connected on Facebook. And then from there, the rest is kind of unfolded like history. I watched Sarah for a little while. It didn't take long. I actually screenshotted that picture, the comment she made on Instagram. And I should really do a social media post about this, but let me just look really quick and see if I can find that. But because she commented on my blog like in December, and by let's see here.
You signed up on January 5th, I think, of 2013.
Yes. So she commented December 10th. So our relationship started December 10th. And that's our anniversary. And anyways, that's where it all started. So when I saw her on Facebook, I was like, you're posting your stuff. She posted about the cruise. That was like the post that initially got my attention. And I had heard about Shakeology on Instagram, like way before Sarah. Like everyone was talking about Shakeology. Everyone was like raving about this stuff. And I had actually researched it before I even talked to Sarah, but I looked at the price tag and it was like $130. No.
Yeah.
No way.
Well, you were a college student.
Yeah, I was a college student.
Yeah.
I was making no money. So it was just like, no, that's nice. But then Sarah started posting about like traveling, and like she just like built this relationship with me, and I figured out that I was like Beachbody, that's who does Shakeology. Like I connected all the dots. It was all coming together and starting to like make sense. I was like, who is this girl? What is she doing with her life? She's traveling and she's doing all these things that I want to do. I'm gonna like reach out to her. So I think I messaged you and was like,
I think maybe. We should go back to our old Facebook.
Wow, we should scroll all the way back. That would be interesting. I'll post that for you guys. I'll go back.
But can I just say something really quick? I think that you've done a really good job of sharing that lifestyle of traveling, because that's what originally connected you to the business. So you've done an awesome job building your business along the way, because that's what attracted you to this. So you want to attract the same kind of people like you.
And I mean, the same thing goes with Instagram too. Like that was where Sarah met me. So I just went and continued to do stuff on Instagram. And I was like, well, Sarah made friends on Instagram. I can make friends on Instagram. So I do the same things where I'm asking people like, are we friends yet on Facebook? Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, that's where we met. Did I answer the question?
No, you totally answered the question. So walk me through when we signed you up as a coach. Like you were gonna bring a little bit about that up.
So I decided that I'm gonna sign up as a coach. I was like, save 25% on Shakeology. That makes it a little bit more affordable in my budget. And like, you know, I was really intrigued by everything that you were doing in your life. So I was like, okay, I'm going to sign up as a coach. Like, I really feel like I have nothing to lose and everything to gain. The worst thing that happens is I get happy and healthy. And I think that might have even been something you said. But anyways, we were messaging on Facebook back and forth, and Sarah could tell I was very skeptical. Like, I was like, this is a pyramid scheme. Like, I don't feel comfortable about this. Like, I was just like being, you know, I don't know, like everyone else, right?
Totally,
Everyone's a skeptic at first before you're a believer. And so she was like, can I just call you? Can we just chat on the phone really quick? And hi, Sonia. Oh my gosh, you're funny. So she's like, can we just chat on the phone really quick? And so she called me, and she was basically like, we got to talk about all of the objections that I had. I was like, this is a pyramid scheme. I heard horrible things about network marketing. I was like, I love what you guys have to offer, the products, the lifestyle, the community. I was really drawn to the community, but it felt like I was getting involved in something icky that I had heard all these negative things about, but truly never experienced firsthand. So that was all based, he should, she said thing. So, but if Sarah had not called me that day and like connected with me on a real person level, like not Facebook message, like if she hadn't called me, I don't know that I would have ever signed up.
Yeah. So just like hearing my passion, hearing my voice, walking you through some of the stuff, getting, like that just helps. Like that and I talked about that last week on the team call about how your conversations with the business evolve as your business evolves. And at one point in that, as you grow, you need to start getting out there and calling people. Lauren actually challenged me to do that with one of my prospects today. Yeah. So maybe I need to do that. Okay. So let's see. In your first month as a coach, what did you think? Like, what were your thoughts? Like, if you can remember back to your first month, like, what were you thinking? Because I feel like I remember you were just doing it for the discount, but
yeah. So you just at that point, you were putting everyone you signed up into your new coach apprenticeship.
Right. Sure.
Like, it was like, you sign up, I'm going to add you to these Facebook groups. And so this stuff is popping up in my newsfeed. Sarah, this is before Coach Basics. Sarah made her own like 6-week apprenticeship. And I don't know that I was really, first of all, I was really just excited to get involved with the programs and the products. So I started doing Shalene Extreme. I started drinking Shakeology every day. I started feeling amazing. I was more consistent with my workouts than I'd ever been. I was, flailing my arms around at the gym, just saying I was working out, but having no idea what I was doing. So, it really helped give me like a plan and something to follow and that I could stick to. So I was feeling really good just personally. And then as like Sarah's posting this apprenticeship group and stuff, I'm watching these videos because I'm a college student and I didn't have another job at the time. So I, was going to school, but I was like, what is this? I could potentially make money. The wheels were turning. I was scared though. I really think I let my fear of failure hold me back in the beginning, where I was like, I don't want to do this because I feel like I could fail at it and that scares me. And so I just kind of kept getting my toes wet. I was watching your stuff. I was like,
So never give up on people that maybe just need a little extra time.
Yeah. I just wasn't ready to dive right in.
Right. Okay. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Because you're all in now.
I'm all in.
You're all in.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, okay, so let's talk about, so you signed up in January of 2013, but you made it to Coach Summit that year. And I remember distinctly making a goal that year of getting 10 people to Coach Summit. And that was a really big deal for me because our team was really small. I think when you joined, like literally we probably had 25 people on Team TryCeps, like
wow,
so small.
Wow.
And so my goal was to get 10 people to Summit. So I was like on you guys, like coming to Summit, like you guys, you know, I really wanted you there. So how did you get to Summit when you were struggling financially? Your business hadn't really taken off at all. Marley,
sorry guys.
Your business hadn't taken off. You really hadn't maybe started really digging in deep with the business, and you're a college student. How do you afford to go to an event? Like what did you do?
I'm just going to close the door really quick. Sorry guys. Marley is just going crazy. Welcome to my life working at home. Okay, so how did I afford it? Okay, so you came to me. I think I hit Success Club my first time in March. So I hit Success Club in March, and then I had hit Success Club in April. And I think at this point you're really pushing to get your people to Summit, right?
Yeah, because Summit was in June.
Yes. Yeah. So April, she comes to me. I like hit Success Club 2 months in a row, right? And she's like, hey, look, like you're hitting Success Club, like you're starting to work with business. Like I went to Summit I don't know, was it your first year?
2012 was my first
year. I went
to
Summit the year before me.
Yeah.
And it changed my life. She was like, it changed my life. She was like, had so much passion about it that this event just totally changed her life. And she told me that with conviction. And she was like, if you're thinking about, you know, doing this as a business, if you want to like make this something legitimate, you need to think about getting to this event. And at that point, you guys, I wasn't all in. I was not sure. I was actually like, torn between, is this for me or is this not for me? You know, I was still like juggling those things, but I was like, okay, she's right. If I am going to take this seriously and treat it like a business, I need to go there and figure out if this is for me or if it's not. And I don't think I'm going to know that until I meet you in person, until I meet the team in person and I experience Beachbody Live. So you kind of had me convinced there. I was just like, okay, I need to make a decision. And I love to travel. So of course I'm always down to travel, but I was broke as a joke. I still was using credit cards at the time. So I think some of it went on credit cards, to be honest.
I was running an incentive for my PS coaches.
Yes.
So I did like I paid for your hotel stay if you hit Success Club a couple months in a row. So you took advantage of that.
Yes. So she helped me with the hotel. So I had like different things where I just made it work. I was making a little bit of money with my Beachbody business. Like we're talking like $100 to $200 a week, maybe.
If that, I would say more like a month, 100 to 200 a month.
Really? I was at least getting a weekly paycheck.
Oh,
I know that.
Okay, well that's good.
I know that.
Yeah, that's good.
So
you were putting a little bit of that aside to save for Summit, and I'm sure. I mean, when you start hitting Success Club and you start seeing residual come in, you start getting Shakeology customers. Yeah, you can use that and save for your events to get there. So you just you did what you had to do to get to the
every penny. I pinched every penny that I had to make it possible. Like I literally did not have the money. Like if you're thinking from a responsible standpoint, I didn't have the money to spend on that. But it was a priority. It was something that I really wanted to see if it was for me or not.
Okay. So I think a lot of people go to events like this and they scrape by and then they leave and they're just like, for whatever reason, they can't implement and do after events. So what was different about that event where you went home and you just said, I'm in, like, I got this. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm inspired. I'm making this happen. Because you were Diamond, like probably 30 days, August 1st, she was Diamond. So, I mean, that was literally like a month after Summit. So
yeah. And it looks like I hit Ruby right after Summit too.
Oh, okay.
So, because my first year at Summit, a crucial thing that I did, and I think has really helped my business, is not only did I attend the event, but I joined Sarah's bandwagon and was like, my coaches need to come to Summit too. So my coach, Stacey Kinney and Alexis Doss, both came to Summit with me that first year. So obviously that helped one of them go Emerald. Yes. I forget exactly how it happened. And then I was Ruby shortly after Summit. But, you know, really when I was at these events, or at Summit particularly, I watched all these people's stories and I realized I wasn't any different than them. I wasn't any different, and that all I had to do was just put myself out there more, meet more people, and like get outside my comfort zone. Get outside my comfort zone. Like, this needed to be uncomfortable to make it work. And like, that was just driven home from like everyone. They didn't get here. You don't just float here and magically appear. It takes work, and it takes sacrifice, and it's not all pretty. And there's days you want to give up, but like, they all made it very clear that all the sacrifice and everything is worth how they're living today.
Yes.
And so I saw that and I was like, I'm no different. And I was going to school at the time, like I told you guys before, and I was hating it. I was like, I've never been like someone who follows the path. I feel like I'm a rebel at heart. I have always been that way. And school never felt right to me. I'm not saying there's anything bad about school, but it just wasn't for me. And I was like, I saw this as my way out. I saw this as my way out of pursuing a career that I already knew wasn't going to fulfill me. And it was like, wow, those people are on. I didn't even know before Summit.
But you thought that was your only option, was to go to school
that was
and
my
have
only
a career
option
that didn't fulfill you. Yes.
Because I had worked in the corporate environment for years.
So and this is, I guess I never really realized it, but that was a big part of your why.
Oh yeah. So I got back from Summit and I had great conversations with Sarah, other people on the team about school and how I was feeling and how I felt like it was my only path and blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, if I'm going to choose to not go down this path and I'm going to take this path, I got to do everything in my power to make this happen. So I implemented a lot of what I learned that first year at Summit right away. I got home and it was summer break, and I took advantage of the time off from school to really go balls to the walls and work my business. I wasn't outside having fun in the summer. I wasn't hanging out with friends. I wasn't doing the things that I necessarily enjoyed doing. I mean, I was some, you know what I'm saying though? Like,
it's a balance. Yeah. But it's a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah. It was a lot of sacrifice for someone my age who's in college. I wasn't out partying on the weekends and doing that whole scene. So I was really motivated when I got back from Summit. I was like, I want to drop out of school. I really want to. I
remember when you told me that. I'm like,
like, what did I do? You're like, someone's parents are gonna come kill me. So I was like, I'm gonna drop out of school, and the only way I'm gonna drop out of school, my parents at the time were giving me, a little bit of income for $300 a month, like literally nothing, you guys. And I was like, I need to be able to replace that $300 a month and be able to support myself, because as soon as I drop out of school, my parents are going to be like, well, you're on your own. You need to figure this out. So I wanted to make sure I put myself in a position where I felt comfortable dropping out of school. Yeah. I busted my ass to get there.
Yeah. Awesome. So it was really just a choice. Like, you chose to do it and you did it. And you just went all in and you said, I'm going all in. That's awesome. And a lot of times all in doesn't mean that it's your whole life or life consuming. It just means that you're fully mentally there, and it's a priority. It doesn't matter if you're putting in 10 hours a day or 1 hour a day. It's a priority. End of story.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me about a time when I gave you some advice or leadership or mentorship that you didn't necessarily love, and then as you grew your business, you kind of understood more where I was coming from, or, you were like, oh, that's why Sarah did that, or that's why she gave me that advice.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys can relate, but something that I've always struggled with, even to this day, I'm not going to tell you I don't struggle with it, but it's confidence. I was never confident in myself. I never believed in myself before Sarah believed in me. Like, I really struggled with this my entire life. And so as a new coach, even probably a Ruby coach, I don't know if it was up into the Summit, but I was a new coach. I was not confident in my conversations. I was not confident in what I was posting. I was not confident in anything I was doing. And so I wanted Sarah's help for everything. I wanted her to read all of my messages before I sent them. I was like, does this sound okay? How do I respond to this person? What do I do with this? Like, I was like, holding on. Like, this was my, I don't know, my safety net or comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
If Sarah said it was good, most of the time I'd message her in my messages and she'd be like, that sounds great. She wouldn't even change a thing, but I just needed her stamp of approval because I wasn't confident. And at one point, it just got to the point where, I was probably a Ruby coach and I just needed to get out there on my own. And I sent her a message and she was basically like, hey, Lauren, you know how to respond to this. You don't need my help doing this anymore. Like, you can do this. She said something like, you need to spread your wings and fly. Like, and I was like, what? You're my coach. You're supposed to help me. Who are you saying I should just spread my wings and fly? You're supposed to help me. Like, I didn't get that. And she just said, and I always wondered how she responded so well to messages. Like, when she helped me, she had such the perfect response. And she's like, Lauren, just fake it till you make it. No one knows you're not confident. Just be confident. Just be confident, and people are going to believe you. And I was like, that didn't all make sense to me until, you guys, probably like 6 months later. I was like, oh, okay. That was the best advice she ever gave me, because I finally started just doing things on my own. I started failing and I started learning more.
Yeah. Well, and this business is about duplication. So it's just not scalable. Like, we can't duplicate by holding people's hands. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. And I think that there are definitely coaches that need that just extra little push at the beginning, but when you start to build your business, you have to start allowing people to fly. And I struggled with that a lot, because I was a big mama bear when I was a coach. And I mean, my early years, I mean, I wanted the team to stay together, but I also wanted you guys to fly. So speaking of that, when was it the right time for you to fly out of my nest and kind of start building Team Fit Revolution in your own team page? Like, how did that work, and how did you know when it was right to do that?
It was after Summit. Yeah, I think shortly after Summit. I didn't have really a team name. I started my team page before like a concrete team name came into play. So don't wait for that. But I just realized that I needed to be a leader, and that if I wanted to lead my team, I needed to start to create. I saw what was happening in TryCeps, and I can't remember if it was Summit or Platinum Edge, but it was one of the events in my first year. I went to Platinum Edge also in 2013. So it was one of those events where it was just spoken about that you have got to create your own team culture. It's great to have an upline and everything, but you just need to own it. You need to own this business.
And I was at Summit that year.
Yeah. And so I took that. That was one of the things that I implemented right away, not necessarily under the name Team Fit Revolution, but I started my team page. And when I started my team page, you guys, I think you guys can relate. It was just me talking to myself all the time. People weren't liking things. People weren't commenting, but I kept doing it. And the culture just, I was cultivating the culture, but it started to grow the more the team grew.
And like, just speaking of that, like, just because you pulled away and started your own team page, it didn't mean that you didn't necessarily comment in my team pages. You were still active. You were still, your coaches were still active in there, and our relationship was still active. Just because you kind of went your separate way doesn't mean that we had to lose touch. And there's definitely ebbs and flows in that. I mean, we all get really busy, and I know you're fine, so I don't necessarily have to keep you accountable or check in on you, all the time. But we talk more as friends and as business partners versus like a mentor and mentee now as our relationship has grown. So I think that that's part of it too, is like, you have to be open to keeping that relationship alive.
It's gonna change.
Yeah, and it's going to change like with your upline too. Yeah, awesome.
And Sarah's team page, and I still continued when I first had my team page, you guys, I continued to add to Team TryCeps. So they were added to both. And then there was a certain point where I felt confident that I was offering my team all the resources. I was doing my own trainings. I was doing, I had grown and broken away a little bit more. And so that's when I stopped adding to TryCeps. But I didn't do that until I was really confident in that
Totally. Oh, that's good. So how do you feel your business has evolved the most? Like, what has changed the most from that first year in business to now almost being in business 3 years? Like, is it like your power hour? Like, what has evolved the most as you build the business? Because like I talked about last week on the call, like, your conversations are going to evolve. You're going to evolve. What do you think has evolved the most?
That's a hard one. I think a lot of things have obviously evolved, but the one thing that really runs true, like you guys, how I mentioned, I really kind of went hard that summer. I work smarter, not harder now. So I get just as much work, if not more, done in half the time. I'm so much more efficient and so much more effective. And
but that also comes from experience and like knowing the business, because you've done it. So when you're first starting and things feel clunky and you feel frustrated, you have to give it time.
Yeah, no one, like, Rome wasn't built in a day. Like, most businesses don't open their doors and like run a really successful restaurant or business right when they like, I mean, props to you if you're doing that, but you got to learn a lot of stuff along the way. And so it just kept it really just, it evolves a lot, but really my productivity and just, I feel like I have a lot better balance now.
Because it does take some imbalance to find balance.
I love that when you say that. I agree.
Yeah. So, okay. So how much has Beachbody changed your life?
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. It's really crazy. I don't even know where to start with that. My whole life is totally different. Yeah. I mean, my life has changed in every single aspect. I mean, first and foremost, I am the healthiest and the happiest that I've ever been. I am confident in myself for like the first time ever. And that alone just feels really good, you know? Yeah. But Beachbody has really just paved the way for me to pursue and live the life of my dreams. And not just financially, but just like filling my life with the experiences that I've wanted, that I've always dreamed of having, and being able to do that. And just really watching my life evolve as my business has evolved too has been, you know, pretty amazing. I've gone from living in really run down, crappy places to now having my own home. And although it may not be my dream home yet, like, I've come so far, you know, like we're sitting at my desk right now talking to you. For the first, you know, couple years of my business, I didn't have a desk. I was building my business from my college dinosaur laptop that, you know, gave me the beach ball like all the time. And now we're talking to you on, you know, my brand new Mac, whatever this thing is. Yeah. So like, life has changed so drastically for me.
I mean, okay, let's just talk about all the cool stuff that you get to do. We got to go to Belize together last year. You and Zach got to go to Costa Rica for like a month or something, or 5 weeks, something crazy like that. We're about to go on a trip down the California coast.
I've traveled,
me, Zach, Adam. It'll be pretty fun. We got to hire a photographer to come with us and capture all the awesome moments. So it's just different. Like, it's just it's given you freedom. It's just allowed you to be more of Lauren.
Yeah. And I just want you to know, like, you know, this is the pathway to all of your dreams. Like, I just like being able to pursue yoga and go take a month off to go get yoga certified and being there. So that was a really eye-opening experience being there, because I was with a bunch of other yogis who will soon be on our team. But I was with them, and they're taking a month off from their jobs too, right? But they're not getting paychecks. They're not getting paychecks. So they came to Costa Rica with X amount of dollars and had to budget that amount of dollars to last their entire trip. They couldn't do things like experience the food and, you know, buy souvenirs and do really, you know, things that you want to do when you're on vacation. And it really hit home for me, because when I was in Costa Rica, although I definitely took a step back from my business, and my business, in some ways suffered, it still kept going. I had built enough residual income that I was in Costa Rica experiencing life, following this dream that has absolutely nothing to do with Beachbody, and still saving money. I saved money when I was in Costa Rica on vacation.
Right. And what did you say to me when you got back from Costa Rica? Like, you were revived and ready to go, and you just like dug in. And
so my business, you can't expect to take a whole month off from your business. And I mean, I was pretty much, if you're on my team, you know, I had told my team, they all knew, but I took a step back for a month. I lost all the new coaches that I had signed up in the month prior, because new coaches need your help. But I had so many leaders here, thank you to all of you, who helped me keep everything rolling. And so my business took a hit. I'm going to be honest and tell you guys that. It took a little bit of a hit, but I came back with life and energy that I got to dive in and attract a whole new group of people that I absolutely love working with. And so, yes, I lost coaches, but I found the right ones, and I'm working with the right people. And so that was hard for me, though. It was a little bit, you know, it's hard when when things kind of crumble a little bit. But
well, and I think we've talked a lot about that with me, because I'm kind of on the same, it's not the same, but it's
it's
similar. And I'm personally struggling today in particular with balancing that. I want to get out on the road and enjoy life, but I still want to work, and I still want to help my team, and I still want to build this team. So you've been through that, and it's kind of funny how sometimes the mentee becomes the mentor. So love you. Yes. So
you're the best. You're the best.
You're the best. So that's it. I'm going to let you guys go because we have a team dinner to get cooking and get ready for. Where are we going?
Golden Gardens.
Golden Gardens in downtown Seattle. So I'm pretty excited to see everybody. So if you guys are on the call, and I'll see you later. Can't wait to give you a hug and see you. And thank you everybody for being on. It was great to see you. Have a great night, and we'll see you in a week. Thanks, Lauren.
Yes.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.